your children will do what they see, not what you tell them.
Yes. It comes down to a point where, like you said, John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership.
You can only really grow a business if you're a leader. Leadership helps grows a community.
Definitely. It comes down to a point where, like you said, John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership.
So it doesn't matter what the wrapping looks like as long as the gift is the same.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bizzin podcast. It's our last one with David May today. David, and you covered so much depth in the last couple of podcasts that we did now, and I think there's so much value that's being added. So just thank you, and I just want to honor you for the guy that you are and the impact that you are busy making in this community as well. And it comes down to leadership, right? And so you need to be a leader in the aspects where you are and where God is putting you. So maybe share on how important leadership in a non-profit organization, but in general for our city and our country to change, how important is leadership?
Thank you again, Desley. And let's go.
Let's go.
Session 4.
Yeah.
I think, leadership, I think it's John Maxwell who says everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
And I think it's so quoted and so known, yet I think as well so not applied in the practical. And I think, for me, I think leadership is valuable. And we should all be growing and developing as leaders to have an impact. For us, our model is of empower the champion. A champion is another word for a hero, which is another word for a community leader. And if we're empowering the community leader, there's going to be a multiplier effect taking place.
Come on.
And for us to keep moving forward as an organization, we've got to keep growing.
Yeah,
because the ceiling of empower is my lid.
Yes.
The ceiling of Van Wyk accounting is Desley.
Yeah.
And if Desley's continuing to grow, therefore Van Wyk can continue to grow.
100%.
And I think it's up to us to continually, hey, here I am. What can I learn today? What can I grow? And how can we fit in great habits like Bizzin that, we can track that. And we can see we're growing and we're learning day on day, week on week, month on month, year on year. And with the growth, we can have the impact that is impacting lives, having the knock-on effect, which again, if I think about it now, in growing a business, you can only really grow a business if you're a leader. And, part of, and I shared it at the Global Leadership Summit this year, I think for me, when I started Empower, part of my responsibility, and I felt this guilt inside of me because I'm like, oh, people are investing in Empower. I've got to be like on the clock all the time, and I've got to be showing. And then someone invited me to Global Leadership Summit, and I was like, I can't justify. This is a day out of the office and a day out of doing what Empower was supposed to be doing. But I went. And I began to realize that day invests something in me that the knock-on effect helps lead Empower better, helps lead our board better, helps lead all those involved and on the journey with Empower, which then the ripple effect means it impacts who we're reaching out to, all those entrepreneurs, which then impacts our community and it impacts their households. So leadership helps grows a community.
Definitely. And I love that. And so maybe let's touch on that, because I think leadership, different people lead in different styles and they have different aspects of leading. Maybe just quickly touch on what is the definition of leadership actually? So people always speak about leadership. But when do you know when it's a great leader?
Your questions are like so thought-provoking. Again, I think I'm just going to speak from my heart. I don't
Yes.
have a one-liner to
Yeah.
define what leadership is, but I think, again, understanding yourself and bringing in the disciplines within yourself.
Yes.
Because I think back to, strong leaders lead themselves first.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not trying to lead and impact and changing lives. And this is where I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to grow as David
Yes.
first.
Yes.
I want to grow David as a person, my love for Jesus, my capacity as a person. Then the next tier is my family.
Yeah.
Like I read the letters that Paul wrote to Timothy about church leadership,
Yes.
about eldership and deacons. And I'm not going to get into what you want to call that in your church or whatever.
Yeah.
But the stand-up point for me was Paul writes, be a man of one wife.
Yeah.
Do not be a drunkard.
Yes.
Raise your kids in the ways of the Lord.
Yes.
None of that actually speaks about the church.
Exactly.
We focus on kind of organizational structures more than we focus on, am I leading myself well?
Yes.
Am I leading my family? Which I need to learn and grow in that.
Yeah.
Loving Brooke,
Yeah.
leading Brooke, loving Judah and Riley and leading them.
Yes.
And from that, then our sphere of influence grows to the next tier.
Yes,
And then the next
definitely.
tier and the next tier.
So good. So good.
I think, leadership for me is growing as a person.
Yes.
And empowering the people around you to go to another level.
Yes. I love that. And it comes down to setting the example. Truly setting the example. And if you grow as a person, people are going to start seeing, but David is growing. And people are going to see, but an organization becomes fruitful.
Yeah.
And they're going to see the fruit that comes out of you. And so I love this that, I listened to a Craig Rochelle podcast the other day, and they said on it, plan for a future that demands your personal growth. And so when we start focusing on what are we busy with, what are we planning, what is the vision for our organization, what is the passion and the purpose that God has placed us on earth for, we are going to understand that it's much bigger. And once we understand that what God has planned for us is much bigger than we can actually fathom at this current point of time, we're going to say, well, what do I need to change?
Yeah.
And so for where our accounting practice is currently wouldn't be where it is if me as Daisley didn't change. And if I didn't stop thinking that everything that I do is the only way to do it. And if I didn't stop thinking, but there came a point in time where I was so focused on people's skills that I forgot to focus on the person.
Sure.
And understand it. There's a heart behind that. There's a soul behind that. And so I needed to change, and I needed to come to the realization, but I might be wrong. Right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not often,
but I might be wrong. And so now it comes down to I need to change. And so now when we want to lead, I cannot keep on telling people, do this, do this, do this. But the example I'm setting is not displaying that. I'm saying from a church perspective, if you say that a marriage needs to be healthy and you're saying divorce shouldn't happen in church, set the example of how a healthy marriage should look like. And so when you're coming to this and you're saying we need to lead and we need to change personally and we need to grow and our character needs to develop, then I think it comes down to a point where, like you said, John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. And it comes down to John Maxwell being over the age of 70, having such a passion for leadership that he can sit on a global stage and actually become emotional about the impact that God has through him done in leadership and in people. And so I love that. And it's, I'm just so passionate about leadership because I'm like, it shouldn't be a burden. It should be something that we strive forward for. It should be something that we see the gift that God has placed over us to make an impact. So coming down to leadership and you leading an organization of empower and making the differences where you are, when does it get to a point where you say, how can I start facilitating other people to help me grow this organization? Because somewhere this thing needs to start scaling and move to a next level. But now, as David, you can't be the magic always, the only one going and doing coffees with people, the only one, showing business owners the impact that the projects are making. So how do you start leading other people then?
Yeah, I think you shared some great wisdom there. And I think, for myself, I come to your children will do what they see, not what you tell them.
Yes.
And I think that comes back to how is David leading himself? And I think just as much as that applies to my own kids, that applies to our community.
Yes.
You coming in to the office and leading your staff team, you can tell them whatever you want. They're going to follow your example.
Yes.
And we've got to take ownership and responsibility of that as leaders. So I think from me, again, when do we start facilitating people in? Day one. Already the goal should be that if David's not here, Empower would continue.
Yes.
So, yes, I might have a unique set of giftings, but as a collective of a team, we all have unique giftings.
Yeah.
And they can outroll and outplay in different ways that I might be like, that's not exactly, but the value remains the same.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the wrapping looks like as long as the gift is the same.
Sure.
And I think it's that transforms. So each coffee, I'm like Acts 2:17, it says, in the last days, the Holy Spirit will be poured out on all men, that your young men will have vision and your old men will dream.
Yeah.
And that's my heart. So even though we're having a cup of coffee and I'm asking about your family and business and this, I'm like, what's your vision?
Yeah.
What's your dream? How do we unlock that?
Yeah.
And how do we allow you to carry that into the next?
Yeah.
Because I think coming back to John Maxwell, what motivated me from that GLS is I don't think he started his journey saying, we're going to reach 14 million people across the world and we're going to do this. He was just there to lead himself and lead the next person. And the next, and the next. Sure. And whether one person rocked up for one of his seminars or 1,000, he's going to lead in the same way.
Yeah.
And I think for us, we can set goals and visions for reaching a community and a city and a nation, but we need to continually be reminded of the one.
Yeah.
And focus on the one and how we transferring who we are into that one person that they can carry that out.
Yeah.
And through the ones, there's a multiplication process.
Sure.
Already I'm thinking about Empower for 2026.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking about how do we empower 3?
Yes.
So if each of us as a board member and the 6 of us empowers just 3 people.
Sure.
That's for a year.
Yeah.
That's 18 people.
Yeah.
With the vision of them empowering 3 the following year.
Yeah.
Now it's 54 people.
Yeah.
With them empowering 3 the following year. So you see exponential growth. And I think that's what we need to see.
Yeah.
Are we taking leadership ourselves and the responsibility we have, and how we're empowering others to lead in their own right?
I love that example that you used now. And I heard Craig Rochelle speaking about that as well in one of his churches in America, where he got people to that served, right? And in the beginning, everyone that's serving is like, just invite 3 people. Just invite 3 people. And every Sunday, they will get to a point where they just invite 3 people. And in a couple of months' time, the church grew over 3,000 people at one campus. And it's amazing, like you're saying, can you empower 3 people? So now your responsibility comes by putting that expectation on your board members and leading them. And they then going out to make an impact wherever they go. And they go and empower 3 people. And so what I love about what you're saying as well is, once you set the example of how to be a leader, you now start empowering another person to start believing that they can also start making a difference wherever they go. David, thank you so much for being here today. It was such a privilege. So just maybe, do you have any words of encouragement for the listeners and for people that wants to step out, to maybe plant their own non-profit organization, maybe want to start their own business, maybe just want to lead a small group? What would your words of encouragement be to them?
Yeah, I think a phrase or a line, a couple of lines, no particular one-liner in specific, is just take time out to spend time with Jesus.
Yes. Come on.
And understand where your source is.
Yes.
Then begin to understand who you are in that. And then from there, begin to just take the next step of your journey.
Yes.
I don't know what your next step is, but through spending time with Jesus, you'll understand whether it's to register a business,
Yes.
or whether it's just to serve in a nonprofit, or whether it's to offer your skills, or whether it start a small group. Just say yes and almost take that jump and then begin to figure things out. But get your clarity from Jesus, get the confidence that Jesus has placed in you, and then say yes and take your next step.
Sure. Come on. I feel empowered right
Let's
now.
go.
Come on, David. Thank you so much for being here today. Guys, thank you so much for joining another episode of the Bizzin podcast. Go out, make a difference wherever you go. Make a lasting impact that will change the community where you are in, that will change your business fellowship with the people around you. And just go and make maximum impact and love Jesus wherever you go. Until next time.